There is no better moment than the present to start living your goals. If you put in the work and establish a fair strategy, you can achieve your goals. To be successful, all you have to do is know what you want and take little effort toward it. There may be some failures along the way, but if you learn from them, you'll have a better chance of getting what you've always desired in the end. Do you want to learn how to make your aspirations a reality? Let's get started. The first step is to be explicit about your desire so that you can get started on making it a reality. Writing down your dreams in a dream diary or a notepad is one method to be very particular about them. You can't do anything if you don't know what you really want, can you? However, you may start on your journey even if you aren't certain what will happen. You only need to have a general notion of what you want to happen and then figure out how to narrow it down as you get closer to your goal. Let's imagine you've always enjoyed writing and aspire to be a professional writer one day. You may not know if you want to write books, be a journalist, or even be an inspiring blogger, but as you proceed on the correct path, you may have a clearer understanding of what you want. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Perhaps all you want is to find a career where you can feel like you're making a meaningful difference in the world. There are various methods to do this, and having a wide aim will aid you in your efforts. You must transform your fantasy into a burning yearning in your heart. A strong desire to attain your goals promotes self-esteem and can help you get through some of life's most trying times. To convert your idea into a burning desire, you must first feel that it is feasible and that you can attain it. You won't be able to take it seriously if you just look at it as a generic want, such as losing 5 pounds this year or wishing to relocate somewhere sunny without actually accomplishing it. You should no longer refer to it as a dream after it has become a burning desire, since the nature of a dream provides the idea that it is not real. You must begin to consider it as something greater. It is critical to progress from a dream to a burning desire, and then to a goal. It is only possible to approach a goal. The next step is to make your burning passion a goal. Because you think it can be done and that you can achieve it, you converted your dream into a burning desire. But, in order to make it a goal, you must think that you can achieve it. This type of faith is founded on the conviction that if it can be done, you can do it, and if you can do it now, you can do it. Because objectives are time-sensitive, including a time period helps you realize that you are dedicated to completing them. Once you've transformed your burning want into a goal, you can no longer refer to it as a wish or a dream. It's now your life aim, one that you must attain. Make a strategic action plan. You'll need to devise a strategy for achieving your objectives. This approach is sometimes referred to as a plan or an action plan. There is no universal plan of action for everyone. Each strategy is unique to the individual and the objectives they aim to achieve. As a result, the key to developing your own workable plan of action is in your hands, and you must seek it out. Make a list of every phase of your strategy. It might make you feel more definite and attainable if you write it down. Just keep in mind that life isn't so black and white, and you might not be able to neatly tick off one objective after another. And you might wind up modifying some of the required steps for attaining your goals or imagining a new path along the road. After you've transformed your objectives into a personalized action plan, you'll need to take action and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. It's time to quit making excuses and putting off what can be done today until tomorrow. Sure, there are plenty of good reasons to put off achieving your goals, such as having to plan your wedding, being overworked at work, being involved in a difficult relationship, and so on. But if you have this attitude, you'll end up making excuses for the rest of your life and never accomplish anything. Like a Drax-like in the cosmos, and when there is a need, the universe appears to find a way to satisfy that need through chances. You must be ready for them as you carry out your plans to reach your objectives, which will enable you to realize your burning desire and turn your dream into a reality. Divide your main objective into sub-goals, and assign deadlines to each of the tasks on your to-do list. It's all about taking little moves at first. If you want to create a novel, For example, you can start by attending a writing class in your region or even creating a 5-page novella. It will be more difficult to complete the task if you dive directly into the novel without first laying a solid foundation that will provide you with the abilities you need to reach your goals. When you're setting short-term objectives to achieve your ambition or even thinking about long-term goals, it may be quite beneficial to seek advice from those who have done it before you, whether they're close friends or strangers. This will assist you in determining what those objectives should be, as well as how practical and achievable they are. If you miss a deadline, attempt to forget about it. Then choose a date that is more feasible for you. It's critical to have a sense of accomplishment when you begin the process of making your aspirations a reality. Though Rome wasn't built in a day, and you may not be developing as rapidly as you'd want, it's critical to feel like you're making progress. Here are a few things to keep in mind while you create your own personal progress report. If you've met your objectives during that time period. If you still want to pursue your ambition. If you've strayed from the road that will lead you to your objective. The most essential thing is not to believe that your life is a disaster and that happiness will only come when you attain your goal. In reality, once the exhilaration of achieving your goal has worn off, you'll discover that you've returned to your natural state of being and are ready for a new one. This type of desire and forward thinking is entirely natural, but instead of believing that you'll be happy, proud of yourself, feel like your life has significance after you've reached your goal, you should appreciate every step of the journey. Instead, take it all in stride and be proud of yourself every step of the way. Close your eyes now and then and imagine how your life will be once you've accomplished your objective. Assume you've already achieved your objective, and visualize how your mind, house, relationships, and ideas would change once you've got what you really desired. This is a terrific motivational strategy to use when you're feeling down and don't think you'll ever be able to achieve your goals. Visualize the thrill and delight that will flood your life after you reach your objectives, and they will seem much more attainable. If you want to succeed in realizing your objectives, you can't be a negative Nancy if something goes wrong or your goal appears impossible to achieve. Keep your chin up, trust in yourself, and keep moving forward. It's completely acceptable to have doubts and questions along the path, but in the end, you must have trust in your talents, since no one else will believe in you if you don't. Maintaining a good attitude can go a long way toward preserving your self-assurance. If you exclusively think about the worst-case scenario in any situation, it is more likely to happen. A negative attitude, on the other hand, might undermine your self-assurance. Though it is critical to persevere in pursuing your aspirations and attaining your objectives, you must remember to take breaks and allow yourself to relax and be calm. You don't want to be anxious, sleep-deprived, or neglect to enjoy yourself with your friends. In fact, taking time to slow down and relax now and then will make you more motivated to achieve your goals when the time comes. Meditation can assist you in being calm, feeling at ease, and envisioning your objectives. Yoga is also beneficial for linking your mind and body, as well as assisting you in letting go of any stumbling blocks that are blocking you from attaining your full potential. It's critical to be positive and healthy throughout the process and to remember to look after yourself no matter how hard you work. Make sure you obtain at least 7-8 hours of sleep each night, eat 3 nutritious meals, and avoid excessive alcohol consumption. This will place you in a lot more stable mental state, increasing your chances of getting what you've always desired. If you want to attain your goals, you must be able to learn from your mistakes and losses and apply what you've learned to propel yourself ahead. If you've failed at anything, take a step back and reflect on what went wrong and what you could have done differently. Of course, sometimes it's simply a case of bad luck, and all you can do is keep going, but most of the time, you'll find something you can do differently. After all, you don't want to slip into the category of insanity, which is described as believing that you can do the same thing over and over and have different outcomes. Rather than allowing setbacks to discourage you, utilize them to fuel your desire to achieve your objective. Include sub-goal and deadline assessments. Make each stage more realistic by using your reviews. While it's critical to stay focused on your objective and avoid allowing others to get in the way, it's also critical to listen to those who are genuinely attempting to assist you. Sure, you can ignore all of the hatters who are trying to bring you down and ruin your day. But if a trusted friend or someone who is knowledgeable about the goals you are attempting to achieve suggests that you should try something different, you can take some time to consider which advice would be most beneficial to you. Of course, just because someone cares about you or is well versed in your objectives does not guarantee that he or she will always be correct. It's up to you to decide what advice you should follow and what advice you should disregard. To achieve your goals, you may have to give up a lot of the things you value. You have to put in more effort and, obviously, give up some of the things you like, whether it's going out drinking with your friends or spending quality time with your family. You may have to abandon your plan to train for the next marathon in your city, since it will consume too much of your time and prevent you from studying for the bar test. Make a list of everything that is eating up your time and decide which ones you can live without or reduce. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Cutting back on family time, for example, might be quite painful, but you must remember that once the process is over, you will be able to reclaim your balance. Consider this: what is now preventing you from attaining your objectives? Is it a poisonous buddy that constantly criticizes you and makes you feel unworthy? Is it a dead-end relationship that drains your energy whenever it's time to concentrate on yourself? Is it work that makes you feel entirely unsatisfied? What about an alcohol binge that leaves you too hungover to do anything on certain days? Whatever the roadblock or roadblocks are in your way, it's time to devise a strategy for overcoming them. Make a list of everything that is preventing you from achieving your goals. Please enlist the assistance of a close friend. You may be unaware that something as basic as a television addiction is preventing you from attaining your full potential. One of the most essential characteristics of highly successful and goal-oriented people is their ability to put aside excuses and go on regardless of the hurdles in their way. Sure, you may believe that your parents mistreated you and gave you low self-esteem, that you haven't had the best luck in life, and that people have consistently treated you badly. And all of this may be true, but you should use adversity to strengthen yourself rather than use it as an excuse for why you can't get what you want. True, not everyone is born with a lot of good fortune. You may sit about and feel sorry for yourself while addressing the issues that need to be addressed, but if you want to achieve, you can't go through life feeling like a victim. This isn't intended to be pessimistic. Of course, if you work hard and make the correct preparations, you'll have a better chance of realizing your ambitions. But the truth is that not everyone can achieve their aspirations, especially if they include becoming a renowned actor or authoring a best-selling novel. Even the most talented superstars or famous individuals have had their fair share of bad luck, and at the end of the day, you may have all the skill and determination in the world and still fail. If this is the case, and you've tried time and time again, you'll eventually understand that you need to change your objectives or set new ones in order to live a happy and meaningful life. You can't put your entire future on attaining your one goal. Otherwise, you'll feel like a failure if you don't succeed. Instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, you must discover a method to live a meaningful life with various gratifying parts. Sure, you'll have to change your expectations, but you'll end up feeling more content and proud of yourself in the end.